All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the recording on. I hadn't done that yet, and I want to welcome everyone. So it looks like it's just the three of us so far. This is pretty typical for a 6 or 8 week program. The last couple of weeks, everyone started dwindling off. There was one person who signed up, and she was only on one call, I think. She has classes on Tuesday nights, so she'll be watching later. So we want to recognize her energy and that she's involved with this group as well. And just, I want to recognize all of you for coming to this event and these sessions, and some have been fun and some have been not so fun, talking about things that are very sensitive and being very vulnerable. So I want to thank you all for that. That really touches me that you've done that and that you felt safe and supported. That's really, really important to me. So I thank you for all of that. Laura, I think you still have one more call left. So if we can get that in next week, I'm booked the rest of this week. So next week sometime. If we absolutely cannot make it next week, then I'll make sure to get you scheduled in the following week. But I have a lot of time open, so do you. So if it works for you. And Catherine has one more as well. And Nancy already has her second one scheduled, or had her second one. I can't remember now. These last 2 days, it felt like a week. So I don't know without looking at a calendar. True. I don't know. So this meeting is kind of up to you. I want to make sure that I'm getting what you need to move forward, not telling you what you need to move forward. So if there's and we always start with celebration. So if there's a celebration, let's start with that. Anybody wants to share?
You want me to repeat?
What's that?
You want me to repeat? It's
Sure.
it's a little different because I had a call right before this with Vickie. I know everybody else that's listening doesn't know that, but my celebration is that I have stuck to not getting on the scale, and it's been really hard because my clothes, all of a sudden I'm noticing my clothes are really getting almost too loose. And so I want to verify that with that number, and I'm not letting myself do that. I'm trying to stick with my commitment, and I'm happy about the clothes being loose. So that's my celebration.
Congratulations on that. That is awesome. And here's why I don't want you to step on the scale, is because when you get on the scale, the first thing is going to be either yay or, well, I thought I lost more than that. My clothes are really loose. I should, so all the judgment will come up. And so the number isn't a validation. The clothes are a validation. If you've got your clothes and they're too loose, then that's a validation that you're releasing weight. So, and that's how I gauge my weight. If my size 10s get a little bit too tight, then it's time to start cutting back. So I cut back enough so that they're not feeling tight on me anymore. And sometimes I can get into that size 8, which is really awesome. And then there's other times I'm just feeling good in size 10. So that's awesome too. Also realize that with clothing, who manufactures the clothing, the sizes will be different, sometimes as much as 2 sizes. And that's hard for women like myself who have trouble with that, so realize that sometimes I might wear a size 12, and somebody else's manufacturer wearing an 8. So it just, don't let that guide you either to saying that you're fat or thin. So congratulations, that's awesome. Yay. Yay. Clothes are getting looser is a really good sign. So what is it that I can help you with? What question has not been answered? What are you concerned about moving forward that we can work through?
Laura?
I'm thinking. I'm still working on that satisfied level. I'm getting better, maybe, most days. But I'm still just...
So most days is better than no days.
I'm struggling to stop eating when I'm satisfied.
Okay, so we'll tap on that. But practically, here's what you can do. Your stomach is actually the size of your fist. Okay, so start try to get the small amount. I still have gigantic plates. I really don't like them, but I can't find it. I'm looking for the original like 8.5 inch plate. And usually you find them at like antique stores and stuff. And they can't have metal on them because I want to put them in the microwave. So I'm still searching for those. I found a bunch in Missouri, but I didn't want to bring them home to the airport. So get smaller plates if you can, because that will make you look like you're having bigger portions. Unless I'm eating a salad, those 10-inch plates are awesome because I can put lots of lettuce on it. So that's one of them. But put a small portion on your plate. So remember size of your fist, and that's all of it chewed up and everything ground up. So like, I guess it's a serving spoon, I guess. I don't, cooking is like me. For me, I don't know this stuff well. So tonight we had chicken breast and in the crock pot with wing sauce on it. It's really yummy. It's got butter and cayenne pepper and garlic pepper, and that's it. And I love it because it's easy and it tastes great. So, what's that?
You're freezing up. Your frame was freezing and your voice got a little crackly.
Well, that's weird because I'm the only one on the internet right now. That's weird. So anyway, a serving spoon is what I put on my plate. And that's what I start with. And then I put maybe, and you can measure it if you want to, but maybe a half a cup of colored floured rice, because that's what we eat here. We don't eat rice or potatoes on my plate. And I started with that. So you can give yourself permission to get more if you're truly hungry. So on the practical side, put smaller portions on your plate, finish that, have something to drink with it, and then maybe you're done, okay? So it's really not that at point gauging whether I'm satisfied or not. I just know I am because that's what I put on my plate now. So try that, practically just smaller portions with the permission. And this is one of the steps that I had too, is smaller portions with the permission that if I'm really truly hungry in an hour, I can go back and get more. Kind of like the old joke about Chinese food, right? You don't have food and you're hungry in an hour. But if my stomach was growling, then I would go get more to eat. And I'm still like that. If my stomach is growling, no matter what time or how long ago it's been that I've eaten, sometimes I'll delay it. It's a weird, quirky game for me now, but I won't delay it for more than an hour, hour and a half. So I might get hungry at 10:30 in the morning. I'm probably going to eat around 11:30 or 12. So I'll delay it until lunchtime. But I know that if it gets overwhelming, I can go get something to eat. I'm not going to deny myself something to eat. So consider doing that. So the tapping part, you're going to tap with me and say, even though I'm not sure when I've had enough.
Even though I'm not sure when I've had enough.
I'm not sure if I'm really satisfied.
I'm not sure if I'm really satisfied.
I know when I'm full.
I know when I'm full.
And sometimes it's just a bite or two.
Sometimes just a bite or two.
It feels like I'm failing.
Feels like I'm failing.
Because I'm not always listening to my body.
Because I'm not always listening to my body.
What if I made it easier?
What if I made it easier?
By just choosing smaller portions.
By just choosing smaller portions.
I'm going to be okay with that.
I'm going to be okay with that.
Even though I don't know when I'm satisfied.
Even though I don't know when I'm satisfied.
And I feel like I'm failing.
I'm failing.
Feels like I'll never get there.
It feels like I'll never get there.
However, I'm creating this road bump. Maybe I'll just start eating smaller portions.
Maybe I'll just start eating smaller portions.
And I can eat again if I'm hungry.
And I can eat again if I'm hungry.
I appreciate these thoughts and feelings.
I appreciate these thoughts and feelings.
On the top of your head, I feel like I'm failing.
I feel like I'm failing.
Eyebrow, I don't know when I'm satisfied.
I don't know when I'm satisfied.
Side of your eye, I get signals.
I get signals.
But I don't always listen.
But I don't always listen.
Sometimes I'll sigh.
Sometimes I'll sigh.
Underneath your nose. Sometimes I'll just say that's enough.
Sometimes I'll just say that's enough.
Sometimes it just doesn't taste very good anymore.
Sometimes it just doesn't taste very good anymore.
But I keep eating anyway,
But I keep eating it
because that's my habit.
because that's my habit.
Underneath your arm. I can change a habit.
I can change a habit
Up your head without any judgment.
without any judgment.
I'm giving myself judgment.
I'm giving myself judgment.
I should have this figured out by now.
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 Maybe I'm resisting being thin.
Maybe I'm resisting being thin.
Maybe I'm resisting giving up food.
Maybe I'm resisting giving up food.
What if it's none of that?
What if it's none of that?
Under your arm, and it's more practical,
And it's more practical,
like putting smaller portions on my plate.
like putting smaller portions on my plate.
Take a deep breath. Thoughts. Hi, Kitty. Kitty's in the background. Thoughts, words, feelings, events.
There was something in there that you said that hit, but I don't even remember what it was now.
Bless you.
So, I am getting in my own way, and I know this. But it's how do I stop getting in my own way is what I need to figure out.
That is a question of all ages. And this technique exactly how I got it. Between hypnosis and this technique, that's exactly how I get out of my own way. Every single day, I tap on something. Today I was tapping on having to do an interview with somebody who's a TV host, has interviewed several celebrities, and then she's interviewing little old me. It's a big deal. So I was tapping on that. So I use it every single day for something. So let's do that. So even though I want to get in my own way,
So even though I want to get in my
I'm getting
own,
my own way.
I'm making all of these things up,
I'm making
All these things,
all of these rules
all these rules.
to prove that I can't lose weight.
to prove that I can't lose weight.
I'm making up all these excuses
All these excuses.
to prove that I'm a failure.
To prove that I'm failure.
I'm not a failure.
I'm not here.
And it's normal to try to feel safe.
And it's not.
Even though, and this goes for everybody, this isn't just you, there's a lot of grieving going on right now.
Even though there's a lot of grieving going on right now.
There's a whole lot of tension in the world.
There's a whole lot of tension in the world.
And I'm feeling it on my body.
I'm not feeling it on my body.
And I'm feeling it in my mind.
And I'm feeling it in my mind.
I don't feel any relief.
I don't feel any relief.
I acknowledge these feelings
I acknowledge these feelings.
and know they're not mine.
And know they're not mine.
Even though I don't know that I can do this.
Even though
I feel like a failure.
I feel like a failure.
I feel like a failure.
And I feel everyone else's expectations.
And I feel everyone else's expectations.
Maybe I've never been satisfied with my life.
Maybe I've never been satisfied with my life.
So how would I know if I'm satisfied when eating?
So how would I know when I'm satisfied with eating?
Maybe I've always been satisfied with my life.
Maybe I've always been satisfied with my life.
And I don't want to know when I'm satisfied when eating.
When I'm satisfied with eating.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
On top of your head. I'm really okay.
I'm really okay.
Eyebrow. All of the guilt, all the remorse, all the grief, all the sadness, all the loneliness. I'm okay. Inside your eye. I don't have to get it right the first time.
I don't have to get it right the first time.
I thought for sure I'd be skinny in these 8 weeks.
I thought for sure I'd be skinny in these,
Who knows? But I can't get this right.
but I can't get this right.
What if I gave up the need to be right?
What if I gave up the need to be right?
Collarbone. What if I gave up the need to prove I'm right to the world?
What if I gave up the need to prove I'm
Underarm. I'm all right.
all right?
Take a deep breath. Thoughts, words, images, events, people show up.
For me, expectations for myself and for releasing weight and for knowing when I'm satisfied. And it was all about expectations that really come from the whole programming, old programming stuff. So I'm not, I'm not saying I don't still get that kind of thing, and I do, but after just putting one foot in front of the other and trusting it and just saying, trying to release it and trying to change my beliefs, there are more days that I do and
Right.
get it right, and that I really feel that way. The others, there's still days that I don't, and it's taken me a lot longer than 8 weeks. I'm a slow learner.
No,
But
that's not true. Most people don't even start losing weight until, my private clients, until 6 months into the program. And I think you actually start losing weight about month 4.
okay.
So yeah, it's usually, yeah,
Surely
it's,
it'll be all.
so yeah, so that's really not true. You're not a slow learner. And sometimes like we've shared is this programming. Remember, you weren't even 10 is like the oldest you were. There was, and at 10, did we really figure things out? I mean, we really didn't know what was going on. So a lot of these decisions were made when you were really young, and you may not even know or be aware of them. And the whole, I'm going to use this word because I mean it, the whole fucking diet industry pisses me off because they make it that it's all your fault that it's not working. Well, every diet works. Every one I've been on has worked. Didn't matter what it was and how crazy it was. I lost weight. I just couldn't keep it off because I'm have always been in the past an emotional eater. And so there are only a few people like me out there that will tell you the truth, that you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 5 months and keep it off. I hate the before and after pictures. I hate them. I feel glad for them, but 95% of them will gain their weight back.
Mm-hmm.
I think of all the years that they did Biggest Loser, and I just heard that they're redoing it again. Do you remember that TV show?
Mm-hmm.
You know how fast they lost all that weight? In all the years, which was between 5 and 8, I'm not quite sure, only one person has kept their weight off. Everyone else is back to where they were. So that just shows you, without changing all of the, like you said, expectations that we have, without changing our faulty belief systems, it's not going to stay off. They concentrated on the diet and exercise. That was what they talked about. Anything else that you all need, or you want me to go over or tap with? And don't think because it's just yours, nobody else in this group has it, because that's not true. I can tell you that for sure. We all have some kind of thing going on, some kind of quirk. But let's do this. So even though I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
Not sure I can do this alone. I'm not sure.
We can do this alone.
I don't know that I have the desire to do it alone.
I don't know that I have the desire to do it alone.
I may just give up.
I may just give up.
I am open and willing.
I am open and willing
To give up the thought of quitting.
to give up the thought of quitting,
even though I'm not sure I can do this.
even though I'm not sure I can do this.
What if I could?
What if I could?
Even though I don't believe in myself,
Even though I don't believe in myself.
what if I could?
What if I
What
could?
if I could?
Top of your head. I choose to believe in me.
I choose
Here,
to
Kitty.
believe
Kitty even says so. Choose to believe in you. I choose to believe in me.
in me.
You're saying that's right. I choose to believe in me.
I choose to believe in me.
All of these emotions are energy in motion.
All of these emotions are energy,
And that's all they are.
and that's all.
And it's okay to have energy in motion
And it's okay to have energy in motion.
in your lips, because when energy gets stuck, that causes complications.
Because when it gets stuck, that complications.
It's okay for me to be pissed off, angry at, mad at somebody. It's okay for me to feel grief, lonely, and scared. It's okay for me to feel afraid. It's all okay. It's just energy in motion on your arm. And I'm glad that it's moving,
And I'm glad
because if it isn't, it would cause me problems.
because if it isn't, it will cause me problems.
Take a deep breath. Thoughts, words, feelings, emotions, doubts, concerns.
All of the above.
I love that answer. When I interview people, I said, okay, we're going to solve all the world's problems right here and right now, and especially in relationships. And they're like, really? Because I don't ever share this question with them. I'm like, yeah, it's all up to you. You've got to tell us what we need to do to fix the world's problems. Does the roll of toilet paper go over or under? And then they laugh, of course, but everyone has a story about that. It's just so, it's just so crazy. So all of the above. And my answer when someone asked me that, I just said, I'm just damn glad there's toilet paper on there. I don't care if it goes over or under. So I picked one of those all of the above as well, out of the box. All right, just do this. All these concerns,
All these
eyebrow, all these doubts,
all these doubts,
all this worry,
all this worry,
all this worry, all these doubts, all these doubts. I don't know that I can do this.
I don't know that I can do this.
All this concern.
All this.
And then take a deep breath. Notice we didn't do the even though I didn't feel we had to. Notice that you can start anywhere. If I'm doing this without doing even though, I'm usually starting at the top of the head, but most of the time I go to my trigger point, which is right here, and I'll tap here. The other one is right here. This is a little more difficult to get away with when I'm in public. I mean, I can go like this at a desk, or that kind of thing. And I've done that. But this is one of my points that helps me kind of go, phew, things are okay. And all I'm thinking about is what's bothering me. Today I was using my fingers because you couldn't see them on my keyboard of my desk. So I was doing this, or I was doing this. I think I showed you the hand points before. Do you remember them? Okay, I will send you my illustration. It's not a very pretty one, but I have an illustration about the hand points. Let me show you. Originally, when Gary Craig came up with this idea of emotional freedom technique, it actually took 60 seconds to get all the way through it. And part of that was because we started with the even though we went, well, this point wasn't included until later. So we went here and went down, and then we had to tap a point, which is right here between your pinky knuckle and your ring finger knuckle, about an inch down, kind of in the middle. And this is a very powerful point. It's called a gamma, don't know why. And what you would do with this point, this is really advanced DFT, okay? So what you do at this point is you would tap it, and you would do this routine as you're thinking about what's bothering you. So you have to think about what's bothering you right now, and then tap here, and I'm gonna walk you through it. So first I'm gonna have you keep your head still, look up, and then look down, and look over to the right, keep your head still, and look over to the left. Go in a circle, no matter which way. Now you're gonna hum with me, happy birthday. Which is really ironic, right, Laura? And then you look the other circle, other direction, and you're going to look left, and you're going to look right, and you're going to look down, and you're going to look up. And then close your eyes, take a deep breath. So we would do that, and then we would start on, then we would do the fingers. And what Gary had recognized that the finger points are all the same or similar emotions or parts of the body that the rest of these were. And so he cut it down so that we didn't have to do this anymore, and we didn't have to do the finger points. We just had to do this. And then eventually this point came on. Some people will do it at the end. I choose to do the beginning just for memorization. So you go from here to here and you just follow down rather than doing this and having to go back up, but that's just me. But this humming, this technique here is fabulous for trauma. And Laura, you might want to try to do this on your own. The recording will be coming to you tomorrow, so pay attention to it, watch it. And just for the trauma of what you're going through right now, it's really, really been phenomenal to help people get over trauma very, very quickly. It's one of those things that I have deep down in my toolbox because I find I don't need to use it a whole lot, but every now and then I'll pull it out. Questions about that?
How long should you do it for?
How long do it for? So you're gonna kind of do the same thing as what's bothering me and give it a name. It could be a name of just an emotion, like emotion could be anger or frustration or overwhelm, doesn't matter. Give it a number 0 to 10. And then you only need to hold that thought in your mind as long as you're doing this technique. Okay, so it would be tapping here. Now you can hum to yourself, you don't have to hum it out loud, but you would tap here. And if you get the eye movement close enough, it's gonna be good enough. But normally it's look down and look up and look at one side and the other. Circle your eyes around one direction, hum, then circle them around the opposite direction and try to remember what was the opposite of the eyes. So mine's always left, right, up, and then down. So you're back where you started. And then I reevaluate it. Am I still overwhelmed? Do I still feel frustrated? You know, did something else come up? Because that's what happens a lot, is something else will come up. So play with it. Be careful with it though, because like I said, this is really more of a trauma technique and it might bring up some other stuff. And that's when you call me and say, hey, I need to get on your schedule like tomorrow or yesterday. Okay. Now the finger points, I thought for sure I showed you, but maybe not. It's always hard to do this on camera. So they're at the nail bed on the outside of your fingers. Thumb, ring finger, middle finger. This is your ring finger, that's your pointer finger. And this one. And this one actually isn't in the original protocol because you're doing this. But you're just doing the fingers. It always felt good to me. So I'm like, well, just add it in. It doesn't matter if it's a real point or not, it feels good. So again, I will be doing in meetings, if I'm in a meeting and they can see me, I will be doing something like this at my side or on my lap. So I'll be tapping on the thumb thinking I'm so overwhelmed right now. I have no idea what I'm gonna say, whatever I'm thinking or feeling. And then I'll take my thumb and go like this. I can't believe how overwhelmed I am. And then again like this, and like this, and like this. And then I do it all over again. A lot of times I have my hands on my lap anyway, because that's what I was taught in kindergarten. So I will kind of press on them or rub them as I move through my day. It helps keep me clear. So I do it actually quite often through the day without even realizing it. Kind of clears my energy. I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm just doing it to keep clear. You both look confused.
No, I'm just getting it in my head.
Right. Well, I will send you the picture. It's just an outline of somebody's hand, and it shows you where they are on the hand, and it shows the ring on the finger, so you'll know, which hand where it's at exactly. It's right at the nail bed. Again, these are so tiny that if you just took your finger and went over the top of your nail bed, the entire thing, you're going to get it. You can tell the difference though. So in other words, I can tell that this is one of the points because when I touch it, I can feel more than I can on the other side. Does that make, it might not make sense to you, but so I know that that's a point. Maybe it's because I know it's a point, or maybe it's because there's something going on there. I know for me, a lot of times if I'm having cravings, and my cravings are all emotional, because if I'm physically hungry, I don't always choose what I would choose if I was craving. Just tapping right here, cravings, having these cravings. I'm feeling this emotion, I might say that. I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling overwhelmed. So this gives you a little more variety. Over the weekend, I was in a meeting. It was a conference, it was an event actually, it was a 2-day event, and I was speaking. And I showed them EFT. And one of the ladies there decided that she was going to tap every morning for the next year. And so she has 2 days in so far. It's not a bad idea. It doesn't have to be more than 3 to 5 minutes every day. Do some tapping on whatever. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed everyone, and I look forward to staying connected. The best way to do that is my email list, Facebook. Vickie Griffith Breakthrough is now my business page. I changed the name of it. The lighter group, I will put things into it. It's Lighter Together on Facebook. So you'll see me post things there every now and then. Those are the best ways to stay in touch. I do have an Instagram account. Don't ask me what the name of it is because I'm not on it enough to know. I need to figure that out. My assistant does all of that stuff on Instagram. I do have a Pinterest account and I'm on Twitter as well, but again, those are not my 2 favorite places. So I'm usually on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram probably the most. YouTube, doing a lot more YouTube stuff. So you can always catch me on those channels. Email me at any time, even when you're not in the program. If you have a question, I'd be glad to answer it for you. And keep in touch, don't be strangers. Anything else you guys want to share?
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Laura, get your call on the schedule. Catherine, the same. Nancy, I think we've talked twice or we're going to soon. So we'll make sure to take care of that. So I fulfill all my obligations. So love to you all. Many kisses. Have a great evening.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.